Apparently now that I'm moving out of this place, I figured it's a great time to experiment with different filming locations. But I just filmed a foundation Friday, that's why I look exactly the same right now. That video will definitely be up first. It's the dupes video, so buy this not that foundation edition. But I wanted to film a second video today. The lights were just getting a little intense on my eyeballs, so we're just filming a natural light right now. And I just wanted to switch it up and try this location. I have packing boxes everywhere in the other room, so just switching it up. But anyways, today we're talking about makeup, specifically my favorite makeup that is no longer made. Rest in peace. I thought I only had a few things. However, it seems that a lot of my all-time favorite products, specifically foundations, get discontinued. Got a whole box here, folks. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video while you're watching. If you do, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'll have all the makeup details I'm wearing right now, linked down below. Let's get into discontinued makeup. By the way, if the light changes, if the color changes, that's just one of the gems of filming in natural light, so that's how it is. All right, let's start off with one of my all-time favorite drugstore foundations that was discontinued, the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Foundation. So I reviewed this during, I'm pretty sure, one of my 15 Days of Foundation series. Since then, this has been one of my favorite, not just cushion foundations, but just all-time favorite drugstore foundations. Sits so beautifully on the skin. A cushion foundation, you just press it on. This looks like skin, gives the most beautiful coverage. This shade was a really good shade match for me, but also it gave coverage without looking foundation-y. It wore well on my skin, and I'm pretty sure this one, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure, is that an earring? Wow, the things you find when you sit on the floor. I'm pretty sure I just found an earring under there. I'm pretty sure I remember this one being no more than like $8, but I think it was around like $5. I have a feeling, honestly, that this probably didn't sell well because of the packaging. It looks a little bit like kids makeup just because of the like almost, I don't know, cartoony anime looking packaging. As an adult, like shopping in a drugstore, I wouldn't necessarily be drawn to this packaging. If I was Wet n Wild, I would bring back this and just make it kind of more sophisticated packaging. The formula was incredible. I feel like it would sell so much better if they just kind of repackaged it, came out with a good shade range, and brought it back to the drugstore. Okay, sun. You guys, it was like cloudy and perfect natural light filming weather this whole time, and now the sun has arrived. I kind of like it. I don't know. It's a nice, happy fall sun kind of vibe. This is what happens when you film in natural lighting. Okay, I'm real bummed about this one. This is the Revlon Pore Reducing Primer. This was definitely in my like top 3 primers of all time, not just from the drugstore, and it was discontinued very recently actually. So if you can still find this in the drugstore, I would swoop it up. Sometimes when products are really recently discontinued, you still may be able to find it at certain drugstores, probably like on clearance too. But I believe what happened is Revlon kind of repackaged everything and then came out with a new line of primers, which looks like this. This is their Prime Plus Perfecting and Smoothing. I don't know if this exact primer, like the Perfecting and Smoothing, was made to kind of replace this one, but I have thoughts. Let me talk about this one first. The Pore Reducing Primer was one of the few primers that I found to actually be smoothing, like filled in the pores really nicely, but also I feel made my makeup stay on a little bit longer and just overall look better. So many primers say they're pore smoothing, pore reducing, and then they don't do shit. This primer actually filled in my pores, smoothed them out. I saw like a noticeable difference with it. The closest dupe that I found to this one so far is the Hailey's Beauty Smoothing Primer. Let me see, I think I actually have it right here. This little guy, which is so cute. I love the packaging, the Refined Foundation Primer. This one is the closest dupe I've found so far, just as far as smoothing the pores and stuff. But their new primers, or this one in particular, I don't love this one. This one I have been testing recently. I was gonna include this in my next speed reviews video. I really don't like this. I feel like it actually makes my makeup look cakier on top. It's a really interesting formula. It's very tacky when it goes on, and then it does kind of get less tacky as it dries down, but it has this really interesting kind of like thick, sticky feel to it, and because of that, my foundation just grips weird to it, and it does make my makeup look thicker on top of it. If you can still find this, I would say get your hands on it before it's like forever gone. Next up, we have the opposite of a drugstore product. This is the Burberry Fresh Glow Nude Radiance 01. So this says luminous fluid base. So basically The way that I think of this is it's basically like a very sheer foundation, almost like tinted moisturizer kind of status. So I would like to use this as just like a covering up my redness, like going to run errands kind of thing, where I just want my face to look really nice and glowy and dewy, but not look like I'm wearing any kind of makeup. And this is really beautiful. I actually don't know if I've ever talked about this, but I really enjoy this product. It's super pretty. I'm not like totally heartbroken over this one because I do feel like I have other products that kind of replace it, you know, like MAC Face and Body. My Purito BB cream. Purito definitely has way more coverage than this one, but you can share it out. Ironically, since filming this video, my holy grail Purito BB cream has been discontinued. You've got to be shitting me. I am heartbroken over this one. They did come out with like a new BB cream that I will be trying, but apparently it's, you know, it's a totally different product than this one. If you can still find this exact Purito BB cream, you need to get it. I don't have a backup of this one, so I'm like totally bummed. This is one of my favorite like foundation slash BB creams of all time. So friggin' bummer, dude. So I feel like I have other things that I can use when I want this kind of look in a product. So I'm not like devastated over this one, but I did really enjoy this product. What do we have next, folks? Ooh, let's talk about something that I am truly devastated over, and I'm still not over. And it's been about, what, a couple years now, a year, since they discontinued this, and I'm still bitter about it. Old Spice Amber, my deodorant. The reason why I'm like extra bitter about this is because 99% of deodorants just don't work on me, and Old Spice Amber specifically, like this scent, just worked really well on me. Even within Old Spice, there are certain scents that work better on me than other scents, and Old Spice Amber just really did the job. I am all about using men's deodorants. It irritates some people, works great on me. I have to use men's deodorant. Like, women's deodorants just don't cut it. Don't even get me started on natural deodorants. Whoa. No. No. I know there's a detox period. Okay, I know. But because I'm psycho, as soon as I found out this was being discontinued, I went on eBay or somewhere and ordered like 20 of them. But I accidentally ordered the wrong ones. I ordered the like gel kind, which don't work on me. There's something with like the feeling of gel, because it's like cooling. I feel like I'm sweating, and then it makes me sweat more. Does that happen to anyone else? It happens to me with like peppermint. Like my boyfriend uses the Dr. Bronner's peppermint body wash, and if I use that on my underarms, the same thing happens because it feels like it's cooling, and then I feel like I'm sweating, and then I sweat more. I don't know, sounds like a psychological thing to me, but that's what happens with my underarms. These guys are a mystery, okay? But anyways, Old Spice came out with so many more scents, so I'm like pretty excited about their little re-scent, whatever you want to call it. But the purple one smells exactly like DKNY apple. I have a few different favorite scents of theirs. There's like a vanilla one. I hope one day somehow we are reunited. Wow, this is gonna be a fun video to color correct. The light keeps going majorly in and out. I actually have so many foundations. Okay, next up, another drugstore foundation. We have CoverGirl Healthy Elixir. One of my favorite drugstore foundations. This one was always too dark, so I couldn't use this one quite as much as I would have liked to, because I would have to either wear it when I was self-tanned or mixed in with another foundation or whatever. I have a whole review on this, but again, this wore beautifully on my skin. This gives that like dewy, plumping, just super smoothing kind of look. I do not know why they discontinued this. One of the best drugstore foundation formulas. CoverGirl, please come out with this again. Just call it something else. I don't care. This was one of the best formulas of all time at the drugstore. CoverGirl has discontinued a couple of their best foundations, like the one in the pink. It was like Hello Gorgeous, Hello something, in the pink little squeeze tube. Next up is a perfume that was one of my all-time favorite perfumes that you basically can't find anywhere anymore. And I actually got this one in Jordan, and I don't even think this is real. I think this one is fake because it was discontinued when I was in Jordan, which was now 8 years ago. That's wild. But I remember being so excited when I found this in Jordan because you couldn't find it anywhere even then. This is Escada Into the Blue. It definitely smells off now because it's quite old, so I think I'm just gonna part ways with it after this video, even though, oh my god, I love it so much. This is one of those perfumes that I used to always get compliments on whenever I wore it. It's like a head turner perfume. It smells fresh, but there's just like something extra to it. I think I discovered this one my senior year of high school. I'm pretty sure I went through a whole bottle of it, and then that's when I realized it was discontinued because I couldn't buy it again. And then when I was in Jordan, my junior year of college, that's when I bought this one. And I obviously didn't want to even like use it at that point because I knew it was discontinued, and now it's just gone. So I guess I should have just used this bottle. But let me know if any of you also used to love Escada Into the Blue. Let's just do the other perfume right now. I have a couple other perfumes that I loved that were limited edition. This one's also was limited edition, so it was discontinued because it was limited edition, but I didn't want to mention the other ones because this whole video could be about perfumes that were limited edition. But this is Stella Peony. Oh my god, it's so good. I'm not usually into like floral kind of scents like this, but there's something really spicy about this one because it has that little bit of spice to it and oomph. I feel like I could wear it in the winter in different seasons, but it's also not too spicy to wear in the spring and summer. So if this one does ever come back, I would suggest checking it out. It's still one of my favorites and I love it. Okay, this next foundation is kind of rumored, or at least when I'm filming this video, it's rumored to be being discontinued. It's not 100% set in stone. I don't think Too Faced has confirmed it, but I've seen it on Twitter and different places that people are kind of speculating that it's being discontinued because it's been marked down pretty significantly on Sephora a few times. And I think the speculation is that Too Faced might be discontinuing the entire Peach Perfect collection. Again, I'm not positive on that, but if that's the case, I wanted to include this because this is still one of my favorite foundations, and if you can snag it on Sephora on sale, like it was on sale the other day for, I think it was around like 20 bucks around there. If you can get this on sale for that price, do it, especially because it is one of the most transfer proof foundations I have found. And just with wearing masks and everything lately, this is a great transfer proof, I would say medium coverage foundation. I have a whole review on this foundation. Pretty sure it was before Accutane, so if you want to see full day wear test, how it looked with acne and how it wore and everything, you can check out that video. I'll link it down below. Next up is a lip product that I actually recently used in my fall makeup videos, the drugstore fall makeup video, and I had no idea that this was discontinued because you can still find it on Amazon and Walmart, I believe, but this is the L'Oreal Infallible Paints Matte. The shade that I used was Festival. They discontinued this entire formula, which was one of my favorite liquid lipstick formulas from the drugstore. So that's unfortunate. My other favorite one is the Maybelline SuperStay. Those are so good. So Maybelline, you better not discontinue that. Like I said, sometimes with certain products you can still find them in like a physical drugstore if they still have stock of it. So you might still see some of these in physical stores, but the way that you can usually tell if something is discontinued is if you go on to the maker, like the brand's website, like L'Oreal, and under a certain product it'll say discontinued or no longer made, or it'll just not be listed at all. Next up we have an SPF. This was from Kate Somerville, and this is their Daily Deflector SPF 50. I loved this SPF. It just felt like skincare. It just felt like such a nice lightweight moisturizer, very comfortable. I'm not super bummed about this now because I have such a good replacement. I love my Purito unscented SPF. I'll link the exact one down below. There's a few different versions of the Purito one, so make sure if you're trying to buy the one that I'm recommending, you check out the exact one down below. But because I have not just that one, but a handful of other SPFs that I love now, I'm not like dying and super bummed that this one is discontinued, but I did really love this just because it just felt so nourishing on the skin and comfortable without being heavy, and this wasn't greasy at all. Didn't have white cast, and it was just very comfortable. Again, don't know why they discontinued this. Just felt like more like skincare than anything, so that's why I loved it. And also I really enjoyed the pump on this. I loved this like wide pump. It just felt very luxurious when I was using it. One of my holy grail items of all time, the Essence Fresh Fit and Awake Primer. I've talked about this a lot recently, but I've mostly been saving to talk about it in this video so I can tell you all about it because I love it so much. But this is basically, I wouldn't really call it a primer. I would call it more of like a glowy base that you can use underneath foundation or just on days where you're not wearing any other makeup and you basically just want your skin to look very smooth and plumping and radiant. It's not just glowy. I feel like if I just wanted the glowy look, you know, I have moisturizers that make my skin look glowy. I have other products that make my skin look glowy. There's something about this one that really does add this like very plump, healthy, youthful kind of look to your skin that is just different. It's different than any other product I've tried, and this one is a few dollars from the drugstore. Some of you said that you've still seen this in, I think, your Walgreens, so might be worth checking your Walgreens stores to see if you can still find this. If I'm in a Walgreens anytime soon, I will definitely see, and if I see this, I'm gonna grab a few because I love this so much, and you can't find it online anywhere anymore, so if you see this in a store, snag it up. I do love the Milani one that I talked about. I'll leave the exact one down below. It's very similar, but I still prefer this one. Like, this is my number one, but the Milani is similar. Wow, a lot of these were drugstore. Actually, like, majority of these were drugstore. So next up, I have a drugstore powder. Maybelline. What the heck? This is one of your best drugstore powders ever made. The Maybelline SuperStay Better Skin Powder. I also feel like this was very talked about, very well loved across the board. So I'm really curious, like, what goes into discontinuing a product. Is it just that the sales aren't high enough? How long do they keep it on the shelf? Like, what exactly goes into the decision-making process before deciding to completely discontinue a product? I need to know these things. I'm trying to think, out of all the pressed powders at the drugstore, the other one I really like is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus pressed powder, and then obviously the one I've been raving about a crap ton lately, the CoverGirl Clean Fresh pressed powder. I think those are my top two, unless I'm just totally spacing, but this one was up there. It's very smoothing, did just look like skin, provided some coverage, and just all around great pressed powder from the drugstore. This one actually has salicylic acid in it as well. It wouldn't be a talking about discontinued products I love video without the number one. Listen, I was upset about the deodorant, but the star of the show here is really CYO LifeProof Foundation. So CYO, the entire brand, no longer exists. So it's not just that this foundation was discontinued. Sadly, CYO, the entire brand, was discontinued. CYO was owned by Boots. They were in Walgreens. Hands down, best drugstore foundation of all time for me. Everything I could want in a foundation was this. It's like, after years of searching for my perfect foundation, I found it, and it was from the drugstore. It was like a perfect shade match for me. Literally my perfect foundation, pretty much. Now it's gone. I have literally about 15 of these backed up in a drawer. Obviously, I can still use it. It's just not something that I'm gonna use in videos because you guys can't find it and use it. But if I'm traveling or whatever, like, I could put it in my makeup bag. It's just the kind of thing where I'm trying to test so many things all the time and update you guys on foundations for foundation update videos, and just trying things in different ways that I really honestly haven't had the time to even reach for this guy. I still love CYO. There's always a special place in my heart for LifeProof. I did do a video comparing the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass foundation, which had the exact same ingredients as this one, owned by the same parent company, blah, blah, blah. There's a whole video on it. However, I'm pretty sure I heard that that foundation is also now being discontinued. I'm pretty sure. This next one is kind of just like a mystery to me. I'm not sure what's happening here. I can't tell 100% if this is discontinued or what the deal is, but I cannot find this anywhere online besides like eBay, which makes me think it is discontinued, even though this is a newer palette. I love this palette. I recently used and talked about this palette. This is the NYX Escape Artist palette. It's so good. The shades in here are awesome. These palettes used to be little square palettes that NYX recently made into big palettes like this, and they have different colors. I think they have like 4 or 5 different palettes like this, and for whatever reason, the other palettes, like the other colors, are available on their website and on Ulta, except this one, which is the Escape Artist palette. But the Escape Artist seems to be available in the older small square version, just not the newer big version now. So I have no idea what's happening there. If you can find this like in store at Ulta, or if you see it somewhere in store, it's awesome. All right, and then last product is another foundation. This one was discontinued a few years ago now. I want to say like 4 years ago or so. But it was the original Maybelline SuperStay foundation. And this was my holy grail foundation for years. When I first started my YouTube channel, it's all I wore. I used to apply it with my hands. I wore it for years, like years straight in college, but they discontinued that and then turned it into this foundation. This is now the current Maybelline SuperStay foundation. They're completely different. This is a fully matte, full coverage foundation. The old version had the most beautiful satin dewy finish, and it was full coverage, but it looked like skin. It looked nothing like this foundation. Complete different kind of formula, different finish, everything. It reminded me a little bit of CoverGirl Elixir actually, and it was super long lasting. It didn't have a pump on it back in the day. Now I feel like most drugstore foundations, or any foundations that come out, I feel like a pump is just like a must now, but it didn't have a pump, so I used to have to like pour it out. All right, those were all of my favorite products that were sadly discontinued. Let me know down below what your favorite products were that have been discontinued. If you can find any of these and you just see them in store, I definitely recommend picking them up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, you can give this a thumbs up. Sorry about all the sun going in and out in today's video. Thought it was gonna be an easy natural light setup because when I started filming it was cloudy. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.